my husband took my kids out to dinner so I can focus. So
Nice.
Do you want to introduce her, Renee?
Yeah. Are we recording? Okay, cool. Well, welcome to our On Fire Empire team call. It is September 4th, and we are so excited to have Jamie Nelson on the call tonight. She is a Success Club All-Star legend. And is a 2-star diamond coach and just has so much incredible stuff to talk to us about. And I'm so excited to have her on the call tonight.
hey, I'm excited to be here. You guys are awesome. So, okay, so I guess bear with me because I get very passionate. I run my business not off of organization or having my shit together. I run it off of like pure passion. So you'll see that as I start talking, I call it the passion rash. It comes every time. And I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to start talking first about your storefront, and then we'll kind of go into everything else. So because I feel like a lot of people, especially newer coaches and even coaches that have been coaches for a while, you get just so caught up in the same thing every day, and you kind of get into like you kind of start feeling like you're going backwards because it's always the same kind of thing. So I think this is going to be super important when it comes to posting and inviting and doing your vitals and all of that kind of stuff. But to be able to start, I'm going to put headphones on. Hold on. Maybe not. To be able to make sure that everything is going, like your business is going the way that it should be, you need to be showing up first and foremost. But people think that they're showing up even when they're not, because you're just throwing up a post on Instagram or Facebook, but you're not doing the behind the scenes work. And so this is how I describe it. Hold on, I'm being super professional right now. All right. So how I describe it, can you guys hear me? Okay, good. How I describe it is like if you are going to an Old Navy, you're walking by an Old Navy, and you see on the Old Navy store 50% off activewear, come on in, and it feels super inviting, right? And you're like, yay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at activewear and I'm going to get my shopping on and all that kind of stuff. That's super great. But guess what? Not everybody's walking by an Old Navy. So nobody is walking by your store every single day, seeing everything that you're posting all the time. And so you can still be showing up to your storefront, making it look pretty, doing whatever, but not everyone is seeing your stuff. Same with Instagram stories. Instagram stories to me is you're still showing up, and it's actually even more important to show up on your Instagram stories than it even is on your social media. But if you're only doing one or the other, you're still doing it wrong. I just like to make that clear. But your Instagram stories is like a commercial, you know, like people, but the TV's not always on to hear your commercial or see your commercial, right? So you have to get on your computer and do the dirty work, doing the invites, doing all the things that's going to make your business grow. Because when you're thinking that you're inviting, the little invites that we put, hey, accepting 10 or enrollment starts now, 15 spots open, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's kind of salesy and stuff, but only a little bit of people see it, and you're like, I don't know, people aren't really wanting to do it. I feel like I'm doing everything I should be, but I'm not gaining traction, and nobody's saying yes, and it's all crickets. And yeah, because like not everyone's seeing your post, and you have to continue creating the relationships behind the scenes. So go, and anybody that did like that post, message them. Anybody that followed you that day, message them. Anybody that's watching your Instagram stories, message them. And then guess what? You don't know what to post about. All the conversations that you're having in your messages when you're inviting and they're saying, no, I can't do this because this, or I can't do it because of this, then you write down those objections, and then now you have new posts and new material to talk about. So you have to be doing all that work to be able to create a business that's going to work for you. You have to be doing that in order to create content. If you feel like you can't do it because you don't know what to say, or you don't know how to talk about it, or you don't know what content to post, then chances are you're not doing the behind the scenes work, because people give you content to talk about all the time. You just aren't paying attention to it if you're not doing the work, right? Now, bear with me. The next objection I get is that you don't have time. So you don't have time to make a post. You don't have time to do Instagram stories. You don't have time to do any of this. You don't have time to show up for your business. Do you have time to go to the bathroom, take a pee, take a poop? Because this is, and bear with me, how many times do you get up off the couch and you actually get up and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and your phone's still right here, and you're like, oh wait, and you go back and you grab your phone while you decide that you're going to go sit on the toilet, right? Every single time, everyone has to bring their phone with them while they go and do their business. So you can actually do your business and work your business all at the exact same time. Like, you can do that. And so honestly, a lot of people don't even realize it, but I am messaging you while I am going to the bathroom. And sometimes if you have kids, that's the only time that you can actually sit there and think. For me, I'm super scatterbrained. I am like, I have squirrel moments all the time. I will be working and then I'm like in la la land, and I'm like, what in the world? This is not what I was supposed to be doing. When you're locked up in the bathroom and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm going to do 10 invites right now, instead of sitting there scrolling on Facebook and scrolling on Instagram, you are going to do it right then and there, and you're not going to feel distracted. There's nothing in the bathroom that's going to distract you. And you can't even tell me you don't bring your phone with your while you're going to the bathroom, because everyone does it. So you do have time. You just have to make time. Now, I would like to say, and I see that there's chats coming up, so I will go back and look at them, but I'll get like in all kinds of rants if I check them out. So, see, I just did it. Oh, if I want to say, I am a stay-at-home mom, okay? So I have the privilege. I have 7-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. They just went back to school last Monday, okay? So I'm not going to even pretend to understand what it would be like to have a full-time job and being able to work this job. I get it. It's probably really hard. But if you want something bad enough, then you will make it work. So when you're going to the bathroom, you wake up 30 minutes earlier so you can check in with your challenge groups, and for you to be able to do your invites or whatever you have to do. All of those things, Melanie Mitro is actually was doing a team call for our team right on our page, and she was saying that you have to make sacrifices and you need to schedule out time. But we all know we have to make sacrifices, and we all know there's no magic thing. Like, we were doing our 2-star call, and Brittany asked me, what is it that you can tell everyone that made a big difference for you when doing like going on to the retreat that I had with Ashley and Emily. We just did our diamond retreat. It was super awesome. But what did you learn the most? And it's like, I don't really have anything like super mind-blowing, super powerful, except the fact that they're all just normal people. They're all regular people that struggle mentally exactly the same way that we all struggle. And they just put in the work. And they showed up every single day, but there's not any secret sauce. Like, literally, they have mapped it all out. Your vital behaviors is all you need to do. Now, I think where the network goes wrong is calling these power hours, because I do feel like you could get a lot done in a power hour. But if you want this to be a business, and if you want this to be a CEO of your own business, and you want to be making $1 million or being an elite coach or whatever, you do have to make sacrifices and put in more than just an hour of time, because it's a numbers game. If you're only inviting 5 people a day, then you're not going for no the way that you should be. You need to go for no. The more no's you get, the more yeses you will receive. So I will send out anywhere from 30 to 60 invites in a day, all the time. And it sounds super crazy, but if you everybody that's on your page, you're following, the people that are liking it, the people that are coming to you, they're fair game. They are people that you get to message. A lot of people get so worked up and freaked out about it. And maybe inviting that many people a day isn't your thing. And maybe that won't work for you, whatever it might be. But if you look at top coaches, a lot of them invite a lot of people because it's a numbers game. Okay. So whenever I invite people, I make it super simple. I don't overcomplicate it. When you get this long message, be like, so I really just think that you look like somebody that would be so good on my team, and you're so beautiful, and I just want you to, whatever, how like you get the skincare and all that kind of stuff, and people just go rambling on and it's super salesy. All I say is, hey, I am so appreciative of all the support of you on my page. Thank you for following my journey. My friends and I are about to start a new round of my 4-day program. I was wondering if you'd like to join. Bam, super simple, done. If they want to join, great. If they don't, they don't. If they leave me on red, they leave me on red. And then guess what? They'll go into my follow-ups later on in the day because they're still watching me, and I know that they're going to do it, except they have to be ready for it, just like all of you guys. But you're not going to find everybody that's ready. And sometimes the same people that are liking or commenting or watching your stories, you want to keep messaging those same people, and you keep hearing no from them, and you're like, I don't have anybody. But you do. Like, you have people. You need to start talking to the people, the wallflowers that aren't commenting or liking, but they're watching your stuff, and they're trying to figure out when they're going to be ready to do it. And so that's how you do the inviting. Then when, like I said, when people say no or why they can't do it or whatever, then you write a list of whatever objection they have. For me, I remember, and I tried so hard finding this post, but I guess it's a good and a bad thing. I post a lot, so I'm showing up, and it was really hard for me to go back and find it. But I kept getting a lot of people saying, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. And it's like, I understand that you can't afford it. And one girl even said, I think that you have to be rich to be healthy. And I'm like, well, that is so not true, because guess what? I grew up from poverty. My family I have 11 siblings. I have parents that have decided that drugs and alcohol are very important to them, which was very hard for us. I've had to be on state assistance. Our whole life, we were on state assistance. Like, it was normal to carry the Oregon Trail card for state assistance. And it was super normal when I graduated and I got married at 19, and that we went and got on food stamps, because that's just what you did. Generational poverty. I didn't know anything different. I was on the state. Now, there's nothing wrong if that is you. Congratulations if that is you and you're doing this, because I just want people to realize that you get to choose how you live your life. If you grow up in poverty, you can't use that as an excuse, because it will take control over you and you will stay in poverty the whole time. So when I found out in 2014, I was very depressed. I'm going to go into a little bit of my story just for a few seconds to give you an idea. I was very depressed. My kids were about 3-ish years old, and I was a young mom, you guys. I got married at 19. A few months later, I got pregnant with twins, and I was a nanny, and I couldn't be a nanny anymore. And I was the person that worked at Papa Murphy's, walked out on the job crying. I had debilitating anxiety and depression growing up, debilitating. I could barely go to school. I barely graduated. I had a job at Safeway, walked out crying, had a job at Papa Murphy's, walked out on the job crying. I was doing CNA training, walked out in the training crying. I felt like I could not keep a job except being a nanny, because I was one of the oldest of the 10 kids, and I was mom, and I knew how to take care of children, and that was the only thing I was comfortable doing. So when I found out I was having twins, I was scared, and we made it work. My husband is incredibly hardworking, and I have a super supportive mother-in-law, thank God. But we were making it work, but not without state assistance. So OHP, food stamps, WIC, the whole works, okay? And then when I was on antidepressants when I was younger, it actually made me suicidal. They had me on 175 milligrams of Effexor XR, and I ended up in the hospital because I did not want to live. It was terrible. My dad had to like pull me away from a knife, and it was just so bad. And looking back on it, I'm like, whoa, you were psychotic. I don't understand, but it was scary. And so I took pride in not taking medication because medication did not work for me. But so at that time, I turned to fitness. I needed something. I was 217 pounds, and I didn't know what to do and how to get my emotions under control because I knew that I loved my kids, but I could not look at them and feel the love that I had for them. And my mom, she left us when we were younger, and my brother and I are twins. We were her firstborn. So it kind of brought a lot of triggering moments of depression, and I didn't want to be her. I didn't want that to happen. And so I started working out, but I couldn't afford a gym membership. My mother-in-law got it for me a few months for Christmas, but we couldn't keep it going. And so I lost a little bit of weight working out, but then I didn't know how to eat healthy. I grew up on hamburger healthy. It is not healthy. Hamburger helper, pizza, the dollar menu. I mean, all the things that like came out of a box. I didn't know what eating healthy looked like. And so I saw some results of like, losing weight. I was 217 pounds and I was working out. So of course I saw some results, but I wasn't healthy by any means. But then I came home and I couldn't go to the gym anymore. And then I was eating and then throwing up because I did not want to lose the tiny little bit of progress. It was so tiny, but it meant so much to me for some reason. And it was just weird because I didn't look at myself thinking that, oh, you're so fat or anything like that. And I didn't like myself. I just knew that I did not like who I was. It wasn't a physical thing. I just didn't like me. I wanted to be able to feel. And so that's when I saw the 21-day fix, and man, changed my life. I remember looking at everything online and it was like how to eat healthy. And it's like cut out sugar, cut out carbs. And I got so overwhelmed. I'm such a visual learner. I did not know where to go with all this information. I couldn't implement it. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to do the 21-day fix. Ashley Molstad was posting about it. She asked me if I wanted to be a coach, and I was like, hell no, girl, I'm not going to do this. John and I actually opened up our very first credit card. I don't advise this, but I was desperate in order for me to get this program. And we opened up our very first credit card because he was only making like $900, if that, every 2 weeks. And we had a family of 4 to take care of. It was nuts. And so I got the package and I was so super excited, and it came on my front porch. And as soon as it came on my front porch, I went online and I canceled my Shakeology because there's no way I'm buying another bag of Shakeology. And so I did the 21-day fix. I had incredible results. And then I did hurt my back in between rounds. So after the first one, and I hurt my back. So then I just focused on the nutrition part of it. The second round, I still got incredible results, but I knew that I needed Shakeology again. So fast forward, I decided, okay, I'm going to try to be a coach. I really didn't want to. I was terrified of it. She had asked me actually like 6 times before I decided to meet with her, which was terrifying for me. I was having serious anxiety. My husband practically had to shove me out the door to go meet with her. Okay. So it's just so crazy. I could not afford this program. There was not any money in the budget to have. I opened up a credit card. I don't advise it, obviously, but it was something that I knew that I needed. When somebody wants something bad enough, they will make it work. They will find a way. Like everyone does it. So you have to give them a reason of why this is going to be a gift to them. You're offering them a gift, whether it is a community. I have certain members in my family that's awesome, but other members in my family not so awesome. And so the community and the support was so special to me. I never knew what that was like. For somebody to believe in me, that was it took me a long time to actually let it penetrate my brain and be like, oh, I can do this. And then if maybe it's the nutrition aspect because they're struggling with an eating disorder, they don't know how to eat healthy or anything like that. Or maybe it's being able to work out at home. Whatever it is, you're giving them a gift, but you're not going to know what kind of gift they need if you are not interacting with them and figuring out who they are and like figuring out what they need as a person and finding what their personality is like. There's a reason why we all have different love languages. So financial and like gifts and stuff, like if you talk about that kind of stuff on your social media, that might not touch somebody if is like maybe your words and all that kind of stuff. You have to figure out who you're talking to and what's going to speak to them. And chances are you're going to get a lot of people that are just like you because your vibe attracts your tribe, which then you have to be careful of what vibe you're putting out. For me, I struggled with depression. I struggled with anxiety. And if you guys follow me at all, I actually just went back on medication in June because I realized within this year, so much has happened within my family. I'm not going to go through all of it because it's just way too much. It's just like a Hallmark movie, but not good, not a happy ending. But I realized that I needed more help, and so I went to medication, and thank God it's been helping me, and I feel so much better. But within that time of me sharing my struggle, because a lot of times that's when we want to hide away from social media in your storefront because you're struggling and you don't want people to see it. That's when you need to share the struggle the most, because that's when you're going to find the people that you want. But you have to learn how to spin it to win it, because if you're just sad and depressed and whatever all the time and you're not doing something about it, you're going to get the people that are sad, depressed, and don't want to do anything about it following you. So you need to be careful about what you're putting out there and the kind of seeds that you're putting out there. Are there seeds that are going to grow and flourish and help you, or are they seeds that just going to sit there and die and do nothing for you except bring you more negativity? So that is part of something when you're thinking about showing up to your storefront and all that kind of stuff. You need to pay attention on what you're saying and how you're saying it, because it will make a difference on what you're attracting. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm going through all the notes that we talked about. I think I just really went through all of my notes that fast, and I did not think it was. But I can't think of other things that I should say. Renee, is there something else that I should talk about?
Can you talk a little bit about sort of like, I know that you had talked about how you didn't have a huge following and that you didn't have a whole lot of family support and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up right away. And so maybe talk a little bit about how you built your social media following.
Yes.
You're doing awesome. I'm like blown away right now.
Thank you. That is so good. In Beachbody language, everyone's like, you got your warm market and then your cold market. And I just want to say F you on that, because I don't believe in warm markets. And if you sit there and stay in your cozy warm market, you're not going to get anywhere because it's comfortable and it's warm. And the way that I explained, I think it was with this that I explained, it's like you have this like super awesome blanket that you grew up with. It's your childhood blanket and you take it with you everywhere. You know, all the worn out spots, it's super comfortable and you don't want to do anything with it. And so you're going to stay and use that blanket. But you have to kind of get out there and like on your social media, get out of your comfort zone. And you've got to add decor to your room and that blanket and add all the fancy kind of stuff, right? So going with that, you're getting out of your comfort zone on your post, but you also have to get out of your comfort zone and get out of the warmth and comfiness of it and go and talk to people, because you're going to run out of people if you focus on just your warm market. Like I didn't have a family that jumped on board with me right away. My mother-in-law got 2 weight loss surgeries before she jumped on board with me to drink Shakeology. And she is literally my biggest supporter and one of my very favorite people. But even your favorite people, who I'd consider her my hot market, it took her a while to get on board, right? So you can't sit there and go into it. I don't even tell my coaches that you have a warm market. I say you just post and you go and invite, because then people get caught up in how hard it is to find a cold market, because you want to stay in the comfortableness of it. I didn't have an Instagram, like barely an Instagram. I think I had one. I posted a few pictures on it and I like forgot about it, kind of a thing. And then I reopened it and I started doing my social media and doing the hashtags and going in and adding people and all of that kind of stuff, and then messaging people on that. I went from Facebook, and then Facebook kind of took a dive, right? And so then I went really and started focusing on Instagram. Instagram is where it's at. A lot of you guys are comfortable with Facebook, and a lot of you guys probably say, I get most of my business from Facebook and not Instagram. Well, you need to start moving your business to Instagram too, because I promise you, you'll get way more business from your Instagram than your Facebook with how it's working. Does that mean that you choose one or the other? No, you need to use both, because actually a lot of the older generation and people are over there. You know, you can connect with whoever your market is, but then a lot of those people are moving to Instagram, and then the younger generation, it's like the place to be. So for me, I showed up every day on social media. I showed up on Instagram, even through the hard parts. On Instagram stories, I started doing, and that's when people really started learning what my personality is. Like, I'm actually a little more crazier than I thought. And it's actually so therapeutic, because when people get to know you and then they're like, oh my gosh, I love you. I'm like, okay, well then I'm going to post about this because people seem to like it. And then you feel like I can be way more myself. Like, there should be zero filters unless they're filtering your pictures to make them look good. Okay. There should be zero filters of who you are and what you are, because when I've decided to become way more myself, I've actually unleashed the confidence within me, because I'm not sitting there and shoving who I am down in a way. And people are attracted to confidence. You can have, like, you don't need to have your makeup all done to put a picture or whatever, but if you're confident and you're posting and you're owning it, you're going to be golden. Okay. So I literally just started from the ground up. I went through my friends list. I'd message them. I went through my followings list. I'd message them. I'd have people that unfollowed me. Okay, see you later. Thank you. You're not my people. You know, like, that's where people get worried. And I did see a question. How did you decide when to do a cold invite and when to just build a relationship? Okay, so cold invites are, I understand what cold invites are. To me, a cold invite is when somebody's saying, hey, do you want to be a product tester and you want to post this on your page and then I'll give you something free, blah, blah, blah. I feel like they're fair game if they're following you. They're watching your journey. They're fair game. They're not a cold invite. Those are your family. That's your community that you're speaking to. Those are not cold invites. It's not like they're not connected to you in some way, some shape or form. Okay. So you need to message them, and don't make it so salesy. That's when it's cold. Like, make it a warm invite. I don't do cold invites, warm invites. Hey girl, do you want to join me and do this 4-day-a-week program with me? That's it. It's not like you're being, like, they could say yes or no. They could tell you why they won't, whatever. Then you could build a relationship with them. Or if people are watching your stories and you're paying attention to their profiles and stuff, or in your collections, or however you want to do it, then you can build relationships with them, because maybe they're a little bit closer with you right then. But I just truly feel like if they're following you, they're fair game. And when you message them and they don't respond to you, don't let that hurt your feelings. Guess what? Now your stuff is going to start showing up in their Instagram feed, because that's how Facebook and Instagram works. Engaging with them. They probably don't even know. They're probably like, what 4-day-a-week program? But you message them. But now your stuff's going to be showing up in their feed and IG stories and all of that kind of stuff. And so then you could start building a relationship with them. Even if you're not talking back every single day, you're building a relationship with them. I just feel like if I am shocked that I reached out to Ashley. I was desperate. I needed it and I was desperate. So those people that reach out, super awesome, super cool. But normally people are not like that. People feel kind of ashamed and feel so discouraged, and they watch me now. Like, I wish that I was sharing my journey even more when I was overweight and 217 pounds, and showed people that I could not do a push-up, not even one push-up. Now I love push-ups, but it took me so long to get there. I wish that I could show people back then that whenever I did a jumping jack, my stomach literally clapped because it hung over and it would push my pants off of me because they wouldn't stay up. And I was wearing pajama pants and my husband's shirts that were too small on me because I didn't own any workout clothes. That is relatable. You don't have to be all cute with a cute hat and lipstick on and a matching Fabletics outfit and cute Nike shoes. You just need to be you with where you're at right now. You own the moment that where you're at right now, and you're going to attract people and show them that you're relatable. Actually, the beginning of your journey, you're more relatable to people because people want to know that they're not going to be alone doing a modified whatever, or maybe using freaking soup cans for weights, which is what I did do because I didn't even own a weight. So you just have to show people that they can do it. You don't have to be super fancy and all this stuff. And getting to your, just don't even talk about a warm market. You don't have a warm market. You're not cold inviting. Everyone's fair game. If they're following you, they're watching you. And if they don't want to follow you after they message you and it gives them a bad taste in their mouth, well, then bless and release them, because that's not who you're speaking to then. That's not your tribe. That follower does not matter to you. Okay? What else? Also, something I wanted to make sure on people's storefronts. It needs to look good. You have statistics say it's a 5-second scroll, but let's be honest, it's a 2-second scroll. 1, 2, if you're not interested, they're moving away. If your storefront doesn't look good, then people aren't coming to your store. How many times have you gone in, and I know we talked about this, into a Payless shoe store? And shoes are everywhere, and it is so overwhelming, and you're like, I can't, like, it's a mess in here. I don't understand where anything is, and you walk right out because you feel so super overwhelmed. That's what people are going to feel like. Now, also, you need to pay attention to each individual picture and how you're posting things. You can have great editing skills for one picture and another picture and another picture, but they aren't coexisting with each other on your feed. That's like walking into your house and every single bedroom in your house is a completely different theme than what you're trying to do. It all looks good individually, but the themes are all totally different. So if you went and looked at all, it doesn't make sense. So you got to make sure that everything makes sense and it looks good, and you're not doing the exact same selfie pose and the exact same Beachbody pose and the exact same Shakeology, because you guys aren't selling just Shakeology and Beachbody. Those are the tools and stuff that you're giving them. But what you're doing is you're selling yourself. They're investing in you. They can go on Amazon and buy everything. They don't need you to make this work if they want to just Shakeology, just the workouts, and just Energize or whatever it may be. They're investing in you. So you have to make sure that you're showing your personality and not just let this be Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody. I barely ever use the names of the products in my post. I want people to ask me about it. I want people to be like, what is this girl doing? But if you look back at my post a long time ago, you guys, this is a learned craft, so don't be so hard on yourself because they are a really hot mess and they are really bad. So like, I really love on this day or whatever, the Facebook memories, and I'm like, holy shnikes, this is not good. But so you have to learn what your style is and what you're doing, but stop doing like all of the Beachbody ads and stop like the pumpkin spice Shakeology is coming out. Don't post the pumpkin spice Shakeology things that Beachbody is making. I love Carl and all their team and everything that they've created, but that's commercially. That's for Carl to post on his stuff for us. That's not for what we post on our stuff for them, because they're going to scroll right past that. Okay. So you have to make sure that your storefront is looking good, as well as showing up behind your storefront, stocking the shelves, invites, making sure your merchandise is in, showing people who you are, showing up every single day. Every day. Can you have a store and like people are like knocking on your store, they need some milk for their baby and you're not even there? No, then they're never going to go to that store again, ever. ever again. So you have to show up every single day and show them that any time of any day, you will be there and you have what they need at that time when they're ready. Okay. And you have to be a product of the product, because if they can't see that you are actually putting in the work and that you are following this stuff, then how are they going to believe that they can do it if you can't do it? Does that mean you have to be perfect all the time? No, because then they really aren't going to be like relating to you, because there's no way that I could be perfect. I fall on and off, and all the time. Like, I have my moments, and if you struggle with mental illness, you'll understand, but you have to lean in those moments and show people that. So I hope that answered your question, because I know I kind of went on a rampage, but I just feel like there's just no secret thing. Just showing up, being consistent, finding the tools that help you. And if you ask coaches that are successful what they're doing, they're going to tell you, I grew my social media super organically with just hashtags up until I think I had about 5,000 followers, which I want to say, you do not need to have a lot of followers to still have a thriving, successful business. But there are tools out there that will help you, with things. So like for me, I use 21 Social. That helps me. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's something that helps me. But there's always going to be things where you can delegate. For me, I couldn't go in and follow a bunch of people that I connected with, because that wasn't good use of my time. So I delegated it so I can focus on the invites and connecting with the people that are following me and connecting with me that way. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of different tools that can help you, but in the end, it's all the very, very basic stuff. It's nothing super fancy. You can be an elite coach. You can be a premier coach. You could be in the multi-million-dollar club, but you have to be sitting here and saying that you're going to be doing that. You have to be sitting there and putting notes of your goals and reminding yourself. Mine is, I will be an elite coach. My goal every month is to hit SC60. Maybe I don't hit SC60 and I hit SC30. If I hit SC30, guess what? Chances are my coaches are going to hit SC15. They're only going to do a little quarter portion of the amount of work that you do. If you're not showing up, if you're only hitting SC5, then I'm sorry, but you'll be lucky if they even get 1 point on the board. Okay? Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. They're not going to, we always say, do as I say, not as I do. You're not showing up, you're not inviting, you're not showing that this business is working for you, then they're going to be doing the exact same things as you. It doesn't work for our children, if only, right? Like, it doesn't. So you have to be an example and do the work and put in more sacrificing. Even when it's a power hour, do a power hour and then your business while doing your business in the bathroom, and add that as bonus time. Whatever you have to do to make it work, you have to make it work, but it's a numbers game. So the more people you speak to and connect to, the more no's you get, you want to celebrate it. Carl said that when he was doing just this last over the weekend, when he was talking to us, he said they were pitching something, and he went to this place and pitched them something, and they said no. And so then he went and pitched it again, and they said no. And then he went and pitched it to someone else, and they said no. And he said, oh, awesome, this is 3 no's, because that means you're that much closer to a yes. And not everyone's going to say yes. And if you allow every no to be a little sting that you can't do this, then you're not doing enough personal development, or you're not doing the personal development that you need right in that time. Maybe it's leadership. Maybe it's just Brene Brown telling you how to work on loving who you are. Maybe it's Rachel Hollis. Maybe whoever it is. But if you have to be finding the personal development that's going to work for you in the season that you're in right now. And whatever season that you're in, it's okay that things are evolving and changing. Just like when we tell our challengers, if you don't see a weight loss on the scale, then you're probably seeing inches lost, right? You might not see both at the same time. Okay, if you're not seeing super success somewhere else, you will be seeing it in another area, as long as you're working on you. Maybe you're doing mental growth and personal growth, and then business growth comes. Maybe it's happening at the same time. Maybe you go through it back and forth, whatever it is, but you have to make sure that you don't take your foot off the gas. It's because if you take your foot off the gas, then you're going to have to start going slower and slower, and you just lost all the momentum that you just had. So I hope that was good. I don't want to take all of your guys' time, but if anyone has questions.
This is amazing. I love all of it. It's
so good.
Yeah, incredible.
I love it.
Can I pick your brain really quick, Jamie?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
So we have a lot of girls that are working for some really big goals, towards the end of third quarter and end of fourth quarter at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of girls working for Diamond, 1-star, 2-star, getting to NLC, opening up their second business center. What advice do you have for them in inviting to the coaching opportunity? Because I feel like a lot of us will get more comfy with inviting to our challenge groups and stuff, and then they'll get paralyzed when it comes to inviting to coaching.
Mm.
So do you have any advice or truth bombs to throw at us?
You guys are okay. If you're not inviting to the coaching opportunity, then I know that there's kids around. So but you're literally crapping on your own people. You are not giving them the discount or the opportunity to see what they can have, putting them in their coaching group. And I don't even think it's weird. I say, hey, so there's 2 options for you to order. Okay. And the first option is blah, 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 the one where you waste all your money. Or the second option is the one where you're going to save your money. And it's both easy to cancel if you decide that you hate it, which I hope you don't, because I really think you'll love it. And then most people want to save money. People want a bang for their buck. And so offering the coaching opportunity is actually very, very easy. You need to get out of your own way, because you being in your head and worried about what other people are thinking of you, you're actually just placing a ton of obstacles in front of you yourself. So not only are you making it harder for you, but you're also ruining any sort of opportunity that those people could have for their own life. If this coaching opportunity has changed your life, why wouldn't you want to sit there and shout it from the rooftops? If you ask anybody that's known me for any amount, my sister's in here listening, but even if you were to ask her, I am not 100% not the same person. I don't even look the same. It's really freaky. Even when I look at my pictures, I'm like, I don't even understand. That doesn't even make sense to me. So you have to just make it a habit that that inviting to the coaching opportunity should be like the grand prize to them. Who cares about all of the other stuff? The coaching opportunity, the community, the financial freedom that you can give to them. Maybe they want to be able to stay at home with their children. Maybe they want to be able to give their children a new backpack every year when they go to school. Maybe they want to be able to afford food on the table. For me, when I first started this and Ashley told me that I could be able to fill my gas tank without saying $10 regular, please, and having to pinch pennies just for me to put gas in my car, the very first time that I was able to go to the gas station, and I'm probably going to cry, and I was able to say, and I have a SUV, and I was able to say, can you fill my gas tank, please? And I just handed them my card, and I didn't have to worry about anything. That was powerful. I grew up with my family when my dad's a dump truck driver. Like I said, grew up in poverty, where we would have to scrounge pennies, or he would have to come get our piggy banks to be able to put gas in his motorcycle in the wintertime just to get to work. So you are actually giving them a disservice not sharing such a gift with them, because I couldn't imagine not being able to do that, or being able to get my kids new shoes when they needed it, or being able to get my kids something when the ice cream man comes and be like, here's $2 and you can go get an ice cream cone. It does not have to be $5,000 a week to be successful. For me, it was being able to put ground turkey and all of those things on my table, but out of my own pocket, not the state. Not relying on anyone else to feed us, and being able to take some of the burden. My husband worked such long hours just to be able to make ends meet, and it was still a struggle. And we were blessed. We were totally blessed even within that struggle. But my husband is so hardworking even to this day, but I want to be able to make it to where he does not have to work if he doesn't want to. Granted, I don't know how I would do if he was home with me all the time, but like I want to be able to afford him to be home, and then like he can go do something too. So it's like not always up in my business all the time either. But like you guys have to think about, like on Thursday, say you get a $20 check. $20. What does that provide you for you? Toilet paper? That's an essential. Formula for your kids, milk for your children, gas in your gas tank. Maybe you're able to save it for new tires for your car. Like people are struggling month to month all the time, whether you think that they have it or not. If they're going to school and they're working hard to build a college degree and they have so much debt and they're trying to figure out how they're going to pay for it, maybe they don't want to be a teacher anymore. You know how many teachers are in Beachbody world? Because, you know, sometimes that's going to be better. Like teachers don't get paid enough. Another thing that you can think about with it being a brand new school, we have to buy school supplies and it goes to the school and it's shared among the whole class. But you want to know what makes me feel really sad is that I've seen more people complaining that we have to buy school supplies to share with those other children than people, because they want all the school supplies to themselves. Well, guess what? Years and years of me growing up, I went to school and I did not have school supplies. And those people that had extra school supplies and those teachers that had to buy school supplies out of their own pockets were the reason that I was able to have some. So I want to be able to be that mom that is able to give extra school supplies. I want to give all the school supplies. I want to share everything because I know what it's like to not be able to do that, to not be able to get the cool pens that everybody else has, or not get to be able to have all the fun stuff, you know, with opening and having the brand new paper and stuff like that. The littlest things make a huge impact. So if you're not inviting people to the coaching opportunity and showing them that it's not just about the business, but the gifts that they are able to provide for their family, themselves, their own personal confidence. Confidence is contagious, it's sexy, and it's attractive. And the more you become confident, the more people are attracted to that, and in a great way. And people want to do what you're doing, no matter what it is. You don't have to be right at your weight loss journey. You don't have to have the perfect before and after picture. You don't even have to have a huge weight loss journey, because the biggest transformation is from the inside out. And the biggest transformation is what it can do for your family, whether it be financially or not. So those small wins every week, that getting to Emerald, that $14 cycle adds up. Getting to Diamond, that little bit extra adds up. So if you're sitting there and you're not trying to get to Emerald and you're not trying to get to Diamond, and your goal isn't actually 2-star where you can actually franchise yourself and have another CBC to control, then you're doing it wrong, because Emerald is crawling for a baby. And they don't think about crawling. Their end goal is to be able to walk, but they know that they have to crawl. They don't sit there and say, I'm going to sit and crawl for the rest of my life. No, they just do it. And then all of a sudden within a few months, they're walking. And that's Diamond to me. And once you start walking, then you learn how to run and you learn how to dance and you do all the fun things, and you don't ever stop. You don't sit down. When have you ever seen a child fall and stay on the ground? You don't. You need to remember, you need to be resilient, just like you were when you were learning how to crawl and then walking. And stop staying at Emerald. Emerald is crawling. Emerald, and no offense, but that's nothing. That's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You should not be camping there. You should be wanting to go to Diamond. You want to be creating a team and not be staying at Diamond. I held myself back a lot because I thought it was way harder than it actually was. And I'm like, what the heck? This is a lot easier than I thought. I built my husband to be Diamond in one day. One day. Once I decided to make it happen, I did it in one day and he became Diamond. And then I got to open up my second CBC. So my goal is going to be, I want to be at least 5-star by the end of October. And by November, I want to be locked in with Elite. Emily Faber proved that you can do all things. She was Diamond, and then by the end of March 15th or June 15-star Diamond. Like, why can't any of us do that? Why? The only reason you can't do that is because you're telling yourself that you can't do that. That's the only reason. That's the only thing different, is the thoughts going through your head and how you're allowing them to penetrate you. Another analogy, how many times have you seen a rotten tomato? How many times have you picked up a rotten tomato and you decided to take a giant bite out of it? Never, because you wouldn't eat rotten tomatoes. You would eat a fresh tomato, one that would give you all the fresh nutrients and stuff, not moldy and gross, right? So why is it that every single day you're eating rotten tomatoes right here? All the mean things that you say about yourself, all the mean things that you think, all the things that you say you cannot do when you absolutely can. Like, why would you even do that to yourself when you would not do that? Like, well, you wouldn't eat that, but it is like something, what you're feeding, your thoughts are feeding your mind, your soul, your body, everything. You wear what you think, you wear what you are. You know what I mean? So you need to stop eating rotten tomatoes. You need to get out of your own way. Stop making things way harder than they need to be, because they are not that hard. There is no secret sauce to this, except you just need to start doing. Celebrate the small wins and stay in your lane. Stop looking at where everyone else is at, rank and dancing and all that kind of stuff, because that's where you start going backwards, because you're like, oh, look at where she is. And then you're going backwards. You don't pay attention to them. You cheer them on, because that's what you are supposed to do. And it's going to help push you and be like, all right, she can do it. So can I. And that's it.
I mean, mic drop. Like, are you serious? Yeah, Bonnie. I am so thankful that you spoke on this call, because I know just from the chat and everybody's faces, like, that they all needed this just as much as I did. And like, I love your analogies. They are the best.
I told you I'm very visual.
That's totally my jam. I like to see the big picture. But just so many truth bombs, and just amazing. We love
you guys for having me. Seriously,
thank you so much.
Appreciate it. And just so you guys know, growth comes in so many different ways. Like, I was the girl that was excused from doing every single sort of speech in high school ever, because I would go underneath my desk and cry of anxiety. So it's like, when you think that you can't post a video of yourself, or you can't host a team call and talk to your coaches or any of that stuff, that's a lie that you're telling yourself, and you need to throw that out, because it's not true. If I only started believing that when I was younger, I couldn't even imagine what high school would have been like for me, because it was so hard, so I want you guys to just realize that you're fully capable of everything that Melanie Mitro and Ashley and Emily and all of them are capable of. Like, you just got to put in the work. That's it.
So true.
Seriously, thank you guys so much.
We appreciate you hopping on our call and just giving us this kick in the pants. And I hope you guys wrote down all those amazing analogies, because they're just my favorite.
I'm glad that people understand them, because there's a lot more where those come from.
And we are excited to see you next month and give you a big hug, because we'll be most of us will be in Portland at Super
And Pink Pants.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? I do have a few more minutes if anyone does have questions. And if not, that's totally fine. I appreciate all of you guys. And I love that my husband got home and he went through the garage so that no one could see, because my front door is right here. Alrighty. Well, can I take a picture? Is that fine? Okay. And you guys, this is a good way to create FOMO. So all of you guys should be getting your phones out right now and posting them on your Instagram stories. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.